Hi, demons. How's it going? Hope you're having a good week so far. Or I should say, hello to Garrett. Hope you're having a good week so far. I've been getting some mixed reports as far as whether people are actually watching these things, and sometimes I can get a little down, wondering if I'm even doing this for people or if I'm just talking to a camera. So, Garrett, I tell you what, if you email and say, Mr. Foster, I am watching these, and this email proves it, then I'll bring in a cookie or a pastry, a donut or a cookie. Let's just go there on the next time that you're in my class, which I believe is going to be on Thursday. So as long as Garrett is watching, hears this, emails me and says that he's watching and what kind of pastry or cookie that you'd like, I'll make sure to bring it in to you on Thursday. All right? Okay. So today we're preparing for our SDL for Unit 2. So Garrett, I did send you some feedback on the SDL for Unit 1, which we're going to be wrapping up here shortly. But believe it or not, guys, we're moving right along here. So I wanted to have one day that we can prepare and kind of do a little bit of a review. So this warm-up is related to that. I've got the performance indicators 1B and 1C as far in the red box as far as what you're going to be doing. And then just a couple questions to get you thinking as far as how much learning you've already been doing so far this unit. But again, today is to be able to help you prepare for doing what it says in the red box. So take a look at this warm up, hit pause, and then keep going. Okay, so like I had mentioned, today we're going to be using our learning from the past 2 weeks to prepare for our second World History SDL, which will begin next class. It is going to be a multi-class demonstration of learning. So don't feel like you're going to be doing everything next class. We'll go over that here in a little bit. But first, I just wanted to give you guys a little confidence. Check out all the stuff that we've been doing. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 5 things on here as far as what we've been working on. The only 2 things left is what area is this PI going to be on, and what is our final product for this PI going to be, which we're going to be going over today and next class. Well, here's some information. So this is just a little bit of a timeline. You know me in history, I'm a timeline person. So over the next 4 classes, today we already talked about. Next class, we're going to be starting our SDL with an introduction of the topic, and I'll give you a little hint as far as this gentleman that is in the picture. That's the main topic that we're going to be dealing with here. And it has to do with the revolution that he started. And then Monday is day 2, and we're going to be doing a little research, constructing an outline, and begin your writing. On Wednesday, we're going to be finishing your writing, doing some peer editing, and doing final revisions, which means that it will be due on the following Friday, which is October 23rd. Okay, so the document for today, the review, the directions look like this. So I'm just going to read it with you. You and 1 to 2 partners, so for you, Garrett, it's just going to be you, will specialize in one area that's named by your class that's important to be successful on our upcoming SDL. Use the class slideshows, Google Docs, your notebook, and anything else we have discussed in class related to your topic, related to this unit, I should say, in order to prepare a brief presentation to the class. Then we're going to get into part 2, which is going to be presentation mode, to be able to prepare a cheat sheet, which is going to be used for starting next class. So, hope that makes sense. If not, keep listening and keep watching, because we're going to be keeping going through it. Okay. So here is, I'm going to put myself down here so that you can just check out the first part of the directions. So first step, get in a group. Well, Garrett, you don't need to worry about that because you're just with yourself. I don't want you to worry about having to get with Zeta, because I know sometimes you and Zeta have gotten to be partners because you're the two blended students, but don't worry about this time. I'll kind of go over what you need to do. Mr. Foster will assign you a color. So for Garrett, I'd like you to do from a full range of relevant primary and secondary historical sources gathered. You're green. So that's your color, Garrett. Determine your role. We're going to go over that in a little bit. Decide how you will present. We'll talk about that. Put together your presentation and then part 2. So here's what I'll do. As long as you do part 1, I will give you part 2. Okay, Garrett? So as long as you do a nice piece of information related to the green right there, and you send it to me, then I will give you, and you might need to remind me to be able to say, Mr. Foster, hey, I thought you were going to give me the rest of these colors, because you're also going to need yellow, teal, I guess that's what it's called, and red. So as long as you give me your assignment that has green, then I will give you yellow, teal, and red. Okay? All right. So here's the group roles. We've got the task master, keep each other on task, the notes and vocab master, and the assignment master. So we'll talk about that, but you're going to be all of it because you're your own person. You're doing great. So you can be all of that stuff. Okay. Here's a little hint on where you can be looking to be able to get information on part 1. Part 1 is where you become a specialist in your color, which for you is green. So you need to write down for your topic, you're going to write down that statement. So right here where it says our topic, you're going to be copying down green right here. So you can hit pause and copy that down under our topic. And then you need to decide, how are we going to present? Are you just going to put it in this Google Docs? That's okay. If you want to get fancy and do Google Slides, that's okay too, but sometimes that can be more than trouble than it's worth. So if I were you, honestly, I'd just do a Google Doc. Right? Don't need to worry about number 3 because you're all of it. And if you'd like to use that Google Doc, you can just put all of your information right here. Where are you going to look? Here's all the different places that your information will be related to. Remember, you're green. You're gathering primary and secondary source historical sources. How do you gather a full range of relevant primary and secondary historical sources? How do you do that? And I'll give you a hint. We had 2 assignments throughout the course of this unit where we talked about that. One of which related to talking about it in relation to databases, where you made a library card for Denver Public Library, and one of which talked about how to do that in relation to Google searching. So that's where we talked about how to find good secondary sources and how to find good primary sources. So that's what you're going to be preparing some information about in order to show the rest of your class. So ideally, you can get that to me before your classmates have class tomorrow so that I can be the one that presents it. But as long as you get it to me sometime today, which is Tuesday, then that's okay. Okay. Here's some information on where you can be looking. So in addition to our assignments, and I already told you the 2 that related to your topic, as you know, you can go on to It's Learning to be able to access all of the class slideshows for history. So real quickly, let me just show you how to do that. You go to, let's see here, let me get out of here, world history. Okay, so I'm going to go to student view. So it's the exact same as what you see. Okay, see where it says important class announcements and links? So you'll notice on there that it says class documents and slideshows. Click here. So you just click that. It's as simple as that. That'll take you right here, and you can go to our class slides and important documents. So if you go to class slides, we want Unit 2, Renaissance, Enlightenment, and Reformation. So this is where you'll be able to find quite a bit of information related to your topic. So this would be a great place to look. Or you can also go to important documents. And this also is under Unit 2. There's a bunch of stuff here that is for this unit. So that will also be helpful. Okay. So once we get into part one, once you finish that, I will send along part two as soon as I receive part one. But once you submit that, please send me an email to stfoster@durangoschools.org and say, "Hey, Mr. Foster, you promised me that you'd send me part two for the SDL," and then I'll do that. Simple as that. All right. So don't worry about this part because I'm going to hook you up with that as long as you do part one. All right, Garrett? Cool, man. Well, thanks for listening and watching all the way to the end. I hope you have a good day, and I'll be seeing you on Thursday. Take care, man. Bye.